a smile on his face
No,
now.
it looks like you're having a good time or feeling good. What is that?
Gauging your mood.
Yeah.
I don't know where this reputation precedes me, but it's annoying. It's all good. We're just working through it. Yep.
Kyle, the lowest seed to come out of the playoffs and win a championship is 7th. Can you guys do it from 11th this year?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, points are really tight, so there's no real clear runaway. Chase has got a bit of a lead, but you know, the rest of us is all pretty close, especially fourth on back. So I would like to think that this year is going to be a bit different for a lot of reasons, and I think the car is obviously a huge piece of that with just the parity.
It's my understanding that David Wilson said on Sirius today that you could have a decision in like 7 to 10 days. Is that accurate?
I was hoping yesterday.
Try to anticipate a decision in 7 to 10 days.
Needs to be, yeah. So again, I'm not gonna put a timeline on it, but obviously, you know, time is a ticking, and there's a lot of other options and a lot of other dominoes that need to fall. So I think just talking amongst others is I'm a first one that needs to go.
Is returning to Joe Gibbs Racing an option?
Oh my God. Yes.
I gotta ask.
By what you just said, do you feel like you're one of your domino falls, and you say there's others to come right behind that, or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you not just cracking through all of this, Kyle Busch? Just a lot.
Do it at home. So it's, yeah, I mean, trust me, my gut doesn't feel good. And that's not just for decisions being made, but more so of decisions being weighed, and the perception and how you come across to all of those that you're going to disappoint, right? Like there's going to be one winner and the rest are not winners if you look at it in that regard. So good for me, but I definitely don't want to come across as a lead on or a liar or anything like that. So that's why it's just been touch and go and trying to tread lightly.
Right, because you are only human. I mean, people sometimes forget with their drivers, or, you know, you're an image out there, right? You're a stand-up in the store. You're a fan's choice, you know, but you're also human. You're a person inside that uniform, and I mean, it's okay to show how tough it must be.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it is tough. And look, this is, I think I said it at Watkins Glen, where this is one of the toughest things that I've had to do and either dwell on or look forward to, which one or the other, for the last 15 years. And so you don't want to have to do this again, that's for damn sure. I'm getting too old for this. A lot more gray hair this week, or this year.
So you're kind of weighing options right now? Like that you have a couple, that you have more than one team that's...
More than one that has paper in front of me, yes.
Who kicked the tires at KBM last week, or the week before?
Who hasn't?
It was worth a shot.
Do you feel like the weight of it is going to impact you on Sunday? And
Say that again?
Will the weight of this decision impact you on Sunday? And kind of following up, if you don't return to JGR, can you win a championship if that's the case?
Well, the first question is are you talking about this Sunday or any Sunday?
This Sunday.
Does it weigh on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it weighs on you every time, every day of the week, but I think the best thing that I have for me is experience in being able to go race on Sunday. Like I'm a racer, that's all I know. And so when I get to the racetrack every weekend, I put my helmet on, that's what I focus on. It's just being by myself. I do my best work inside that car, and so I don't have to think about anything besides just making that car go fast. So, you know, during the week, I probably have way more things to do or that's going on than I'd like to be able to focus on making that car go fast on Sunday. So, but that'll hopefully soon, as you said, 7 to 10 days be put to rest. Can I win a championship this year? Sure. I mean, I feel like we're a top 5, top 6 team right now. Myself, Ben, the 18 team, and where we're at. We just need to clean up some of our mistakes. And, you know, speeding on pit road, that's on me, you know, running over the air hose, whatever, just things, you know, but some of the stuff that we've had happen to us, we can't really clean up because it's none of our doing. It's just getting caught up in wrecks and stuff like that. So, but I do feel like we're a top 5, top 6 team, and I don't think that the ones that are in front of us, all of those guys are going to be perfect to make the Final Four when it comes to the round of 8. And so we'll, you know, we can surprise I wouldn't say we surprise ourselves, but we could put ourselves in that top 4.
When you said you didn't want to let anyone down and you didn't want people to think you were a liar, I mean, people would think you're ruthless at times, but out of the car, not so much like that. There's just so many different elements to it, and it was surprising, I guess, for some people to hear that there's so much into it of you wanting to be credible for everyone, including those you don't pick. You know?
Yeah, was there a question there?
Yes. I mean, do you feel like people think you're ruthless and, you know, and
Well,
you're
of course
really
you have to be on the racetrack. Yeah, you're ruthless on the racetrack, but you know, you are a human and you are still a person when it comes down to during the week and through all of this talk, you know, but you still want to come out of it as meeting all of these people and talking to all of these people that you're human and you have to make a decision that's best for you and your family and what that looks like going forward.
When you look at your
way to, and I don't know if there's a way to compare it, but in 2015, with winning the championship after the way that year started, in 2019, winning the championship when you were I think most people looked at you as the number 4 team, especially the last race. And what you're going through here, it seems like your championships have come in some of the more stressful or difficult times. Is there a correlation? What you've been going through that helps you, and maybe this is the 3rd championship and it just kind of follows the trend in that way?
Boy, that'd be nice. That would be nice. I think Harvick said it right a few years ago. Didn't Harvick say that the lifespan of a driver is going to be much shorter with this format, just with all the stress of it and everything like that and what it takes? I mean, the stress of the last 2-3 months is probably as stressful as going through the round of 8. So, like, I'm already living it. Like, I'm already there. These bozos haven't been there yet. So wait till they feel it. They're only going to have it for 3 weeks. I've dealt with it for 3 months. Bring it on.
When you look at you're weighing your options and looking at various things, that your Truck Series team is Toyota based and it's a lot of support from Toyota. Does that get more consideration that you want to stay aligned with them because of what they bring to the Truck Series team?
I would say that the Truck Series option with Kyle Busch Motorsports has probably made this situation 80-85% harder than just me. I would have been done by now if it was just me.
When you look at other options out there, are other manufacturers as receptive to your Truck Series program and bringing it into the fold as Toyota would be?
Yes.
Kyle, you were talking about you've always been a racer. And years ago, Richard Petty made a statement that he loved climbing into that race car because he could shut out everything else and just enjoy that. And is that what you get, is that peace then when you're in that race car?
Trust me, it's not peaceful when you're in that race car. But I understand where he's going or where you're going. So, yeah, no, that's the aspect that I'm getting at, right? It's just having that ability to get in the car and be able to go perform and do what you feel like you know how to do. And that's, whether I've been born to do that or not, that's just what my career has been made of, is being able to get out there and perform on Sundays.
Do you think, Kyle, that your personality, what people love about you, love to hate you, all of that is Kyle Busch, that NASCAR loves about Kyle Busch, has that been helpful or not helpful in this? It's made you really popular, and if it's not your fans and people are following you, has that been helpful to you? Because people
Am I going to win Most Popular Driver of the Year award this year? Do I have a shot for that through all of this?
You know what I mean?
I bet I do. I bet I do.
You could.
I could. Watch out. The world can be a shocking place.
Well, if they don't love you, they love to hate you, so they love you.
Damn right. Love is love. I love love.
Do you feel like, though, that being Kyle Busch, you know, some people will call and say, well, it's because, you know, he's edgy or whatever, on one side of it, you know. Has that helped you? I mean, you are unique and you are who you are, and you don't want to lose that and go somewhere else. So has that helped you?
Well, I mean, I feel like to be Kyle Busch, to be who I am, and helps me for ability and being able to go somewhere or to have a job, right? What's the hindrance of that is just the public perception or the sound bits that come on broadcast television that don't necessarily get a good chance to showcase who I am exactly versus just the sell of who I am, whether it's to a supporter, a Rowdy Nation fan, or to a hater.
Yeah.
If any of that made any sense, I have no clue.
Well,
you are who you are, and it's made you successful.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Going through this process, do you feel like that's also hurt you in terms of the sponsorship, or are you as much a victim of somebody pulling out and such a late period that it kind of throws everything out there?
Yeah, I can go a lot of different ways with this answer. So I'll just state the obvious, that obviously the perception is yeah, it's probably tougher being who I am to sell a sponsor. But I'm going to argue that fact to name me the last big $5 to $10 million sponsor that's come in our sport lately. Give me one. Okay.
But Kyle,
So is that a Kyle problem or is that a sport problem?
so
Bob wins on that one.
Well, that's why I wanted. I mean, obviously, look, if the sponsor stays and nothing happens, you don't go through this most likely.
1,000%. Right.
And now this leads to the question of, I guess, do you feel like you will have to change in the future? Because as you note the lack of the big sponsors, that there has to be a little bit of the public perception change, even though who you are is what has made you as successful as what you are.
and that's
Yeah.
what I was alluding to.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like having the freedom of being able to act or react to certain situations the way that I could through the support of M&M's allowed me to be as successful as I was on Sunday, 1,000%. So will that have to change? Most likely. How much? 10%, 15%? I don't know. Maybe it's 18%. That you have to change. But I don't know what that is or what that looks like. So obviously that's still to be determined.
But NASCAR loved you being that guy. NASCAR
Trust me, I
promoted
have heard
you being
from
that guy.
every single NASCAR executive, Kyle, man, you're awesome for us. Don't change. Right? Well, now listening to that for the past 15 years might present me jobless. So I guess don't listen to those that are offering you advice all the time is my best submission.
8% or 16%?
18, 23, 45, 32,
41.
29, 3.
You haven't lost your sense of humor, that's for sure.
You're damn right.
Kyle, following up on sort of what Dustin was asking a little while ago about your playoff experiences when you won the championship, it seems like, in some added chaos or whatever you would call it into the mix, you focus harder? I mean, do you really it seems like in those circumstances you dig in a little bit harder?
I mean, you have to, but you don't really change a whole lot from what you've done throughout the majority of the season. You just have to have things go more your way, right? So, do you have less run-ins with other drivers because everybody's taking a little bit easier, knowing playoffs are on the line, yada, yada? Maybe, but I think you're going to have some of those guys that get into desperation-type situations, like Harvick at Martinsville when he spun me out trying to make it. You might have some of those things that pop in there, but you hope it's not affecting you and you're able to just make it through how you need to make it through.
Are you more forgivable for drivers who do those kind of things in that kind of situation, like Kevin, for example? I mean, does that mean you hold a grudge against, or you realize the situation that he was in and what was at stake?
Yes. Is he still owed? Yeah. Do you give in a little bit of benefit of the doubt to the situation? Yeah. I think I was already out by then, so I wasn't racing for anything where he was. So maybe I let that one slide, but there's maybe a 12% chance I let that slide.
You kind of put it in the bank, and just in case.
Just in case. Yeah. Well, hell, like if I'm going for 1 point, 1 spot, and Kevin's that guy, and he's still in it, then he might get it. I don't know.
Denny totally understand.
He should. He should. You guys can all tell him why.
Denny took a hard hit last week. He's going to skip the Xfinity race just because he's feeling sore. You're a guy who's into cars and how they're built and everything. I mean, do you have concerns about this car? I mean, NASCAR says it's just this. They're telling us the speed and the speeds are higher and the angles are different with this car, and that's what's causing.
I don't believe that. No way. We have had 30 years with that design of that older car, 40 years, whatever it is, right? And how many crashes have there been recorded and whatever else that you're now telling me we're at different speeds at different angles? No way. No way. the crash that I was in, which was that same crash where I got up to the wall, laid on the wall, and then was brushing it basically, and then I hit the car in front of me and got hit from behind by another car, I felt it way more than I would have in the old car. And you can see that because the car crinkles or crushes a little bit, but it doesn't look that bad. It's like, oh, he's not that bad. He can continue on. Well, in a Gen 6 crash, I probably would have been done for the day. The radiator would have been knocked out of it. The rear bumper cover would have been knocked off of it, whatever. So the wrecks just don't look as bad because the cars are and the drivers are carrying the brunt of it, and the car isn't. I guess I said that wrong, but you get my point.
Are you
In the past, you would, if you felt worse, you would tell Gibbs, and you guys might like try to look at things to do to make it hurt less. Is that still the process, or now with the next gen, is it pretty much you guys just have to tell NASCAR and have them do the work to make it feel less harsh?
Yeah, we talk to those that are involved in the driver council and let them relay the messages.
Do you feel NASCAR's receptive to the issues that you guys are bringing to them about the safety of the car?
I'm not bringing issues to NASCAR. I'm bringing it to the driver council, so I don't know who to ask on that.
And most drivers are doing that, not just you.
Correct.
Right.
There's more.
Is there frustration at this is September now, 26 races plus off-season testing, and that there's still issues with this car, and that maybe these could have been resolved or something could have been done by now?
I mean, you don't really learn these things until you put them in race situations, right? Like, are you going to go out and could they have done more crash testing? Probably, but you're not going to learn. They didn't have the pieces to do it, right? So they had to get everything out there to get it on the racetrack to get going. So now we're learning more about it as we're in the line of fire, if you will. And so it's going to be a learn as you go. And the only problem with that is all the parts and pieces and components are all built and bought and designed and everything else. So now if we're making changes to it, what's that go back on? It goes back on the owners, and makes it more expensive for them to have to rebuy stuff that gets redesigned to make crashing easier.
That's one